I should be streaming.
I should get the notification. Oh yeah, look, it says you're ready. It says you're on.
Okay, yeah, we're on. We're live. Okay, let me just minimize that. I'll just wait for a little bit more people to go. Or, you know what, I'm gonna say that we're live on Instagram for now. Yeah, Leah. Oh, wait.
Yo, wait,
I
what?
know, I thought it was Leah. Okay.
Dude, I look so ugly in that thumbnail.
Okay.
That has to be one of the things we talk about, the costume.
Oh, the costume, yeah, your famous Tapatio costume.
What do you want? I'm gonna do something. Then go eat. No, no.
Why does it smell like your fart?
Because I farted.
Ew.
That wasn't live, right?
Yeah, we're still live, dude.
Fuck, dude.
Okay. All right. So you want to talk about how you did your little costume thing in there? For those who
If you want,
don't know, there's in the thumbnail there's Alonso in the Tapatio costume. Was it like what 2016 you did that? 2017?
uh, I I think it was 2016.
2016. And
It
that's
was when I was. Oh,
oh, go on.
what happened?
No, okay, so go on.
Oh, it was. I don't know what came through my head. I'm on like, I need a costume for Halloween. It's the last year I can go trick or treating before I'm like considered too old to trick or
Uh-huh.
treat. And I kept asking my mom, what can I be for Halloween? Like, I don't know. We have no money. We don't have time to go get a costume. Everybody already did their makeup.
Hmm.
And then while I was scrolling through my phone, I saw someone dressed as a Bucanas bottle, like the alcohol.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going through the kitchen because I was eating, and I grabbed a tapatio bottle. It just dinged in my head right then and there. What if I become a tapatio bottle? and and we recently got the huge TV. I don't know if you that we usually play on,
Yeah.
and we still had the box. So I'll use this box, make it into a circle, and all I have to do is wrap it in red party table like things that you put on the table,
Uh-huh.
and print out and pin out a picture of a tapatio. And to think all this, I did all this last minute on the day of Halloween. I had nothing to do. I did it all then and there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, how long in total did it take you to actually make the costume? Because I know when you first posted that to our chat, we were like all we were like all laughing and we were like surprised that you actually managed to pull that off. 'Cause I remember just like that was like our like an inside meme for like the longest fucking time.
It's still an inside meme if you think about it, because
Yeah.
when those moments, like when we're arguing, like for no reason, you just send a picture of me with the tapatio costume. It just it makes me get rid of the topic we're arguing about, and I just start cracking up
Oh, I know. This shit.
because
And like,
because
go ahead.
because when Halloween was over and I told you about the costume, I just hear you text me, "Can I get a picture of your costume?" I'm like, "Sure." I don't know what he's gonna do with it, but I'll give him one, and then you make a huge meme out of it,
Mm.
and it just makes me laugh.
Yeah, no, that I remember vividly. Like, you were like a Chad for like that entire fucking week, cause that shit was just the funniest thing ever. It just had all of us dying. And it was like one of our like the best costumes. Like you had like one of the best costumes out of our like little fan group. This shit was just
Yeah.
too funny. And to think that you pulled that shit off like last minute, it's just adds to the hilarity of it.
Oh, dude. When I pulled that costume off, I felt like a huge amount of success. Like I did it. I went out with a bang on my last year of trick or treating. I went out with a bang.
And how old were just to like have the
I
audience?
think I was 16. I'm 20 right now. It was in 2016.
Cause that would have been like 3 years ago. What, like 16, 17 around
Yeah.
that time?
Yeah, at 16, 17 around that time.
Oh, okay. And for those of you, I know Leo's in the thumbnail and the title. He'll be right back. He's just at the store at the moment, so he'll be joining in on the call whenever he gets back.
Yeah, and we'll
And
make sure to bully him.
so this podcast is a thing I wanted to try out for a while. I know I briefly talked to it about with Leo specifically. It's a project I deemed Project Serotonin, and it's something I've been thinking about for like a year or so around there.
Really?
Yes, and it's not just the podcast that's Project Serotonin. Project Serotonin is a website that I'm planning to launch probably around December, depending. And it's like just to like kind of like keep in track with like who I am as a person, because what I'm trying to do is like audio logs, poetry readings, and I'm planning to have other people kind of contribute their own pieces. Because I know Leo, I spoke to him like a couple months ago about this. Because I know it was like around the time I was trying to get back into poetry, and I mentioned it slightly to him, and I was like, I'm kind of looking for other people to kind of contribute just to see like who,
That you're gonna launch the website.
yeah, yeah, just to like kind of just see like inside the mind of like me, and not only just me, but like the people who I surround myself with, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a project I've been trying to work on, and I think this podcast is like good. This episode is a good pilot just to get things rolling.
Basically to
Yes,
jumpstart your dream of launching a website.
yes, it's exactly what it is. And
Oh.
like I said, it's just to get into the inside
I
of
I
my
I
mind.
I I
Uh,
didn't know this. Like I knew you wanted to do a podcast because of when you said in the chat, I think it was last week. And when you said about the podcast, I'm like, I'll do it. Honestly, um, I would be kind of excited to do one myself.
huh.
But now that I'm leaning that you want to do all this, it basically it gives me inspiration of what you're doing. You're not doing this just for yourself, but you're doing it for the people that surround you.
Uh huh. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this is something I've been thinking about for a good while now, and I just hope it goes into fruition. Like I really wanted to do this because I know the whole Team Tree meme kind of just started because originally we wanted to have this channel as a gaming channel or just like whatever, like
Whatever we
whatever we
can do with
upload,
it.
yeah. Because it really just jump started this whole channel just kind of jump started from the time Leo made his channel, like after he gained a little popularity. And I
Yeah.
decided like because it was like during like the whole I don't want to get into specifics, but it was like during the whole issue that he had with another friend
But
group.
oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's what kind of just jump started this. So basically, just to get off of the whole, what this project is, kind of wanted to move into a more personal topic. Because quite frankly, I know you get Team Trey. Those of you who don't know, we have a group of friends who are all really close to each other, and there's member. It's up to like what is it like eight, nine members at this point.
I think, is it? Okay, wait. It's you three, me, J. Yeah, seven,
Seven.
about seven people.
Yeah, and quite frankly, I don't know too much about everybody in the in the group, and I guess this is a good way to like kind of just get more to know you guys. And originally, this was gonna be about John and Leo, but you kind of stepped in last second, and I appreciate that. Um, so one of the like the because this is an interview of you guys. Um,
Oh,
so
okay.
so because it's a way for me to kind of get to know you guys a little bit more.
Yeah.
So because I don't like with all the time we've hung out and everything, like I still don't know like a lot about you guys.
Yeah, you don't know that much about
Your
our past
past,
and our life.
yeah, because I kind of got slumped in into your guys' friend group after the whole
No,
the whole falling out
no,
thing.
but technically, you're the one that started the friend group
Oh
because
yeah, that's why I said like I kind of got slumped into it because it was at the time when like Leo was at his all-time low,
yeah, and
and
everybody else gave up on him except for us.
yeah, and so I spent most of that time just kind of recuperating what was left of you know of everybody at that time. So
Yeah.
but like we really didn't get to talk because like I said like I got slumped into this because how they left how Leo was left and I
They
spent
basically left them to fail,
yeah and
and and and you were the person that stuck that hand out and helped him up. You got him back on his feet to where
well
he is now.
it wasn't just me I contributed that part also to Darshansek because Leo came to us in the time of need because we had class together. Me and Leo, like I knew Leo,
Yeah.
but I didn't know him too well, and that's when he came to us because he kind of where the fuck was he gonna go after what happened to him? He
Mhm.
had nowhere to go. Everyone basically abandoned him, and so
No,
within all
yeah.
that bullshit that kind of happened, like it didn't really give me a chance to like get to know each other because like I said I was trying my damn best to kind of get you guys back together and everything all a okay. But like I said, I kind of got sumped into this to where I don't know too much about any of you guys.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh shit! What was that? A car or what?
It was a motorcycle.
Almost.
I love where I live, but I hate it that it's in like a corner house
Oh
because of all
yeah.
these speed by.
So like yeah, I know we kind of just like kind of glossed over the question, but like my first question to you is like who were you as like a like as a child like who were you like what were like things you were into like just
Well,
tell me a little bit about your past like your past in your childhood.
when I was little, me and my family basically grew up poor. Well, not poor, but like
Broke.
to where we don't have money to get the necessities we needed.
Uh-huh.
And basically, through all this growing up, my dad struggled. He worked when I was younger. He worked two jobs,
Mhm.
but just to get just to get the family through. But when I started elementary, um, it started off great, but it's when I started third, fourth grade when I started getting fat
Uh-huh.
because I didn't take care of myself. I hated vegetables. I still hate some of them right now. Not all
Yeah,
of
we
them, but
still
some
give you
of them.
shit for that too. I mean, not all, like vegetables are like, really fucking good, like depending on what you
Yeah,
fucking eat. But yeah, go on.
like I started getting fat. I did not take care of myself. Usually when in elementary when it was recess, instead of me playing, I just sat down. I didn't do anything.
Mhm.
And that led up to how I am right now. But through that whole process is when I started getting bullied because of my fat.
Mhm.
And You usually I don't know. Do you remember? I think you still remember him, John, the other John, the
Brown kid.
yeah with glasses.
Okay, no, I don't. No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah,
Because I knew
he
a
wore
different John,
glasses.
but the current one I
It,
know is the one with the pop collection that would sell or whatever.
yeah, him,
Oh, is
him,
it him?
him.
Okay, I didn't know he wore
Yeah,
glasses.
he wears glasses now, from what I see. But he started bullying me when I was in like fourth, fifth grade, I would say. But
Uh,
it's that type of bullying that he kept on the low. I didn't even know I was being bullied by him until the teachers basically exposed him because my mom always gave me $1 to get water at school,
uh-huh.
but I would never use $1. And then John would come by. He's like, "Can you give me the $1 so I can get water?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'll give him the $1.
Uh-huh.
But then when the teachers basically caught him doing that to me, that's when they told me that I was being bullied by him. And ever since that day, I've noticed throughout continuing school years, it got worse and worse. Like this one time in middle school, seventh grade, I found $5 on the floor. And to think, we were still going through money struggles, me and the family.
Mm.
So when I found those $5 on the floor, do you remember how they sold snacks during the
Yeah.
school, during
Yeah,
school
the hot
lunches?
Cheetos and the cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I spent the $5 on pure hot Cheetos because I was gonna put them in my backpack and take them home. Basically, just share with my family. Only to while I was taking them to my backpack, I would say five people just took the bags away from me, took the bags and ran. And of course, the first thing I did was I told the security guards. They took me to the office. They made me fill out the little report thing. Some of the people I knew, and those people that I knew were also bullies in elementary school to me. And during that, they asked me, what do you want to do? Do you want to just let them go? I'm like, no, they those are longtime bullies, and I do not want that to happen. So continuing, basically my whole life I was bullied. Just sum it up to that. But then it's when I started sophomore year is when I started hanging out with you guys again.
Mm.
Sorry, my voice cracked. But
Yeah, it's
after
fine.
that, I don't know what is it that you guys did, but my life got way better. I got less bullied.
Are you crying?
Sorry.
No, it's fine,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, it's fine. Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, I'm just glad you guys were there. You guys helped me through all of it.
Fuck, you're gonna make me cry too. No, but I think that's like a lot of our groups. Well, not a lot of our groups. Feel like that's why a lot of our members kind of just click well together, cause just because we have like similar pasts, you know. And like, I could pretty much say this with 100% accuracy. Where like we're also glad to have you in the chat. I know we like we'll sometimes argue and shit like that, but deep down, it just know that we do love you. The feelings reciprocated. So.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be completely honest. I remember hanging out with you in middle school, but I don't remember how we started talking. All I know is that I met you through Leo, because me and Leo started hanging out in middle school as well.
Yeah.
And um we talked, but we only talked during lunches. We didn't talk like between classes or after school. But it was in high school when we actually started talking. We became actual friends and all that stuff. And then that's basically when our friend group started going together. It was me, you. First, it was just me, you, Leo, and John. It was just that little group. But continuing on through those years, it started getting bigger and bigger. And when I see that our group is getting bigger, it just makes me feel good because then it's more people that I can trust, people that won't do me wrong is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you've witnessed it through the chat and everything. Like, when we got an issue with someone, we'll straight up fucking just say, "Hey, what you're doing is fucking wrong. Just fucking stop that, or whatever." There's no lack of, like you said, like you kind of find out yourself like where you could like no one's gonna backstab you. Like you found yourself in a group where you could trust everybody, and I feel like everybody's the same because as you grow older, you go through like a series of people where you have like you're good at the beginning, and then you have a falling out, and it
Mhm.
really just comes down to trust, where they've done something and it just makes you not want to trust that person going forward. And then as soon as like the after the middle school phase, the high school phase, all that bullshit just kind of goes because as a person, we're all human. We're prone to mistakes. um, we kind of just get to we just kind of mature more a bit, some more than others, but everybody, I would like to say like at least a good 70% of people mature after high school. Um, because that's when you kind of just find yourself, like that's when you do your soul searching, like who am I as a person, why am I put into this world, and you just kind of have to find like a path, whether big or small, like because what a lot of people, like little kids, and like the younger generation, like Uh, they'll have friend groups, and then they'll fucking
The what?
like how do I say this shit. As you're younger, you have like big groups of people, but it just kind of dwindles as time
Yeah.
passes. And at first, you look at that, you kind of look at that as like, yo, that's fucking depressing. Like, why don't I have more friends? Why is everybody leaving like this group or that group? Why isn't he talking? Why is she talking anymore? It's just that some people just grow apart, and after the bullshit's kind of gone and done, you kind of just find yourself in a position of like, okay, I'm gonna settle here, and hopefully, as
Mhm.
everybody has, like I said, everyone's matured at this
Yeah.
point.
Like on the other group, I'm not gonna say who's in that group just for transparency, but the other group, it started off huge. It started off really really big. I would say about 18 people were in that friend group, and
Hmm.
then over the years, it just started getting smaller and smaller. And it, why was it getting smaller? Is because everybody started arguing, and that's the thing that I was worried about with this friend group when it first started.
Uh
That it
huh.
was gonna happen again. It was people are gonna argue and it's gonna get way smaller. But we kept it small. Small. If when it comes to friendships, friend groups, the smaller the better because it's people. You're surrounded by people who you care about, who care about you, people who won't backstab you, and just me finding out about that we are the people in the group actually care is when I started trusting you guys more often. Yeah, yes, there's gonna be those days where you guys can't help other people in the group, but we still care. Even though we can't help, we still care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much it. I mean, I think we've kind of just the nail on the coffin there. Another question I wanted to ask was like, where do you see yourself in the future? Like, because I don't know much of like your hopes, your dreams, your desires. Like,
Well,
what do you plan on doing forward into the future?
well, at the moment right now, I'm still trying to get my life together. I still don't have a job, but I'm looking for one. But well, once I get like a job, a steady job that I keep, I want to start going to college and just basically start getting the regular degree, the general's degree.
Uh
But
huh.
After that, my career dream, my ultimate career dream, is to be a graphic designer.
Oh,
That
okay.
I found out that I want to be a graphic designer during junior year. I always got asked by my parents or teachers, like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" My only answer was, "I don't know. I still don't know yet."
Oh, okay.
What's up, boys?
Hey, Leo joined.
Oh, he's
I'm finally
here.
here. Yeah, I'm
I
here.
was I was
Oh,
afraid I had to change the thumbnail and the fucking in the title, dude. No, but you came pretty quick. I mean, 18 minutes over time. You know.
Yeah, it's I just because I had to put air in my grandma's tires, so it took longer.
So you kind of want to backtrack a bit, Alonso, so we could get the first question in for Leo too, like the way I asked you.
yeah, no problem.
Oh, guess who I saw today though?
Who?
Before we start, you know the guy that Jackie cheated on me with?
Roman?
No, not Roman. She didn't cheat on me with Roman. She didn't cheat on me with Roman. What the hell?
Yeah, I was about to say like
In Colombia,
Roman's
they
a
were
bit of
holding hands.
fuckboy, but he's not like a douche.
Yeah, not Roman. It was this other dude named Gabriel. He's short. He married this girl down the street from me. But I
Oh
seen
Married?
him
yeah,
there.
I
Yeah, they
kind of
have a kid.
remember. Oh really?
Yeah,
What?
but yeah, they have a no, not Jackie, not
I know,
Jackie, not
I
but
know,
the
I
girl down
know.
the street. Yeah, they have a kid. I was just like, what the hell? I seen him and I was tripping out. I was like, ah. I guess he don't remember me because he didn't say hi or nothing. I was like, alright, cool, don't say nothing.
Wow. Okay, go. Ask away, Israel.
All right. So kind of like I was telling Alonso, this is because I mentioned to you about the project I've been working on for a bit, right? Like the whole website.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is basically
Go.
like a jump start for the thing, because
Mm.
so much background noise.
Yep.
Sorry. Sorry.
So what? Kind of just to sum it up, this is just kind of jump start to the upcoming website. And Leo, there's a bit of an echo on your end, I think.
It's because I'm watching the live.
Fucking
Go
turn that
put
shit
down the
off.
volume.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did.
So this is kind of a jump start, and like I said to Alonso, I kind of deemed this project as Project Serotonin, and
Mm.
this project is to get to the inside of the mind of myself, but not only myself, but like other people, because I know you
Uh-huh.
said you would contribute some of your poems to my website.
Yep.
Yeah, and so that this is what this is it, what this is. But I just kind of want to use this podcast as a way to get to know more people.
Uh-huh.
Because like I was telling Alonso, is like our friend group. I kind of got slumped into to this group, like kind of just after your fallout with your previous group.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I didn't have enough time to like get to know you guys
Everybody on
more.
a
Yeah.
personal level.
Yes. And so I just kind of like I know you. Okay, what the fuck's going on in the background?
Alonzo, what's going on,
It's my
bro?
sister, dude. I'll mute the mic while you talk.
Alrighty.
Cool. That's better.
All
It's way
right.
quieter.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Shit, I lost my fucking train of thought.
Something about trying to get on a personal level with
Yes.
everybody else
Okay.
because.
So, like I said, after your previous fallout, I didn't have time to kind of get to know you guys on a more personal level, and I feel like this can help me
Mm-hmm.
get to know you guys better. Because I know you talked to me a little bit about yourself. Because I remember when you first started talking to me and Darsh, you kind of you opened up to us pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you kind of went on off topics like about like shit that happened in your life and shit. But I kind of,
Mm-hmm.
at first I was kind of like, oh, why is this fucking dude kind of just opening up to me? Like I don't fucking know this dude too well. Why the fuck? And I think I felt Darsh felt the same too. It's like, like why the fuck is this dude talking to us? Because you kind of just came to us like after, like I said, after your little fallout,
Yeah.
and you were kind of looking for other friends who wouldn't treat you like crap. And
Yeah. Cool.
so, uh, at first I was like, like I said, I was like, well, why the fuck is this dude talking about his personal fucking life? Like, but now that like we've been friends for quite a couple of years, so I kind of wanted to
Yeah.
get more into your past. So like can I just tell like how your childhood was? You know, like
Oh,
your
bro.
past. I know it's depressing, but like,
What the fuck,
Yeah.
you two? What the fuck?
No, it's weird. Israel asked me about my past too. It wasn't that bad, but
this dude
dude,
started
I had
crying, dude.
cried. I
Yeah,
actually
I almost
cried.
started crying. I ain't trying to cry. What kind of make you cry on this bitch, man?
It doesn't matter if you cry, dude. A real man cries.
But
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
want to cry. That's the thing.
So like you just kind of delve into your past. You don't have to go through like every single. I
Uh,
don't want no fucking
uh,
autobiography. You know, just kind of just
bro, at the age of 10, I smoked. No. um. Okay, here, let me quit this because I was playing a game, so fuck it. I'm not playing the ranked match, so I'll just quit it for now. Basically, my childhood was like semi rough, semi not rough, basically, because like I didn't know my dad as much back
uh-huh.
then when I was younger. Basically, my mom was like a single mother taking care of me because my dad was like a douchebag. Still is a douchebag to this day. Um, so basically, he cheated on my mom when I was younger, and she caught him and shit like that. So he wasn't really around, and all I really got from him was just child support. But it wasn't even enough. We struggled sometimes here and there. My mom had bad boyfriends from time to time. I experienced some traumatizing things that I shouldn't have seen as a child, like my mom always being almost being killed and stuff like that. And so and like I went through a lot, like, cause the way my mom would treat me back then is cause it wasn't her fault. She was like, I understand now that she had a hard time raising me because I was her first kid and shit.
Mhm.
Like even then, to this day, she told me like I was gonna abort you, but I'm glad I never did. So I could not have been here back then. I couldn't have been back here for this day. To this day, I wouldn't be here if my mom didn't have me. But she treated me like kind of like a little bit crappy, but I understood now that she did it out of care and love to make me stronger, not
She
to make
she
me you know
she treated you like that for your own good.
yeah, that way when I go in and face the real world and shit, that I'm not like, oh, why people treating me like this, why this, because she treated me like how the world would treat me for my feelings and shit like that. But she also
Yeah.
treated me with love and care at the same time. Because my mom worked her ass off to get me what I needed and shit like that. Like I always had shoes, always had clothes, always had a roof over my head and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, when she would yell at me and stuff like that and call me names, like it would hit me to the point where I wanted to kill myself. And at an age of being young like that and wanting to kill yourself, it's not that good. It's not to be, so I did have like depression way at a young early age, which I shouldn't have, but I did. But even then, going through all that shit, it got me stronger and it made me the person I am today.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my childhood. Yeah,
It's okay, Leo. If you want to cry, go ahead.
I didn't cry.
No, he's not gonna cry
Oh
because he didn't go
god.
into detail like you did, Alonso. He purposely did
Oh
that so you
god.
wouldn't have to cry like a little fucking little fish.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
Little
lie.
fish.
I shedded a tear when he was talking about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just some shit that I've been through. Like, but hey, it made me stronger. It made me the person I am today. My mom treated me like she taught me and how to treat women. So like, I'm not gonna be like any other dude that she's dated who hit her and shit like that. You know, or I'm very overprotective of my family because of her. Because she's like always been protective of me with her boyfriends that she's had. When they try to hit me, she would literally get in the way of them from not hitting me and stuff like that, or she'll fucking sock them or hit them with something. That way they stay away. You know. So that's why I'm very protective over my family because of her. She taught me like you're always supposed to have your family's back or your friends back no matter what, through thick and thin. So even like when I went through all that shit with our other group, I'm not gonna mention names at the time, but when I went through
Maybe we'll
stuff with
have
the
him on
other
the
group,
podcast so you guys can duke it out. No.
shut up, no. But when I went through the other things with them, like I didn't treat them like they were treating me. But I understand why they treated me the way they treated me because I did do some shit that I was not proud of, and I did
Mhm.
apologize to personally to most of everybody that I could, and that they wanted me to do it to their face, and I literally said I would, and I did. But there were certain things that they could have done differently instead of, because there was at the time I didn't say shit to them. Like I didn't say, "Oh, you guys are fucking retards. You guys are fucking, douchebags and shit like that." Like I just let it be. But I guess I don't know. From what I heard from other people, people were spreading rumors saying, this and that. So it made my high school experience kind of shitty towards the end of the year because, like, got cheated on. I couldn't. I tried to find a new girlfriend. Didn't work because all these rumors were going around and this and that. But
Yeah,
it's whatever.
you kind of fucked yourself there for a little bit because if I remember correctly, you kind of put the blame on yourself at the time, like when the whole
Yeah.
Jackie thing conspired.
Ah, yeah. That at that time I did. I did it for the fact because I didn't want her friends or our friends that we hanged out with to look at her like a slut and shit like that. That was at the time that I cared a lot about her. But like right now, I mean, she did what she did and I did what I did. If she wanted to cheat, then that's on her. But like I said, I'm not gonna be her. I'm gonna be faithful to the end with any kind of girl that I date. So
You did what was good for you.
yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Of
what
course,
I
you
also
did
did.
make mistakes along the way,
Yeah,
and you had
yeah,
me
because
and
I
Darsh
went,
to help you
yeah,
with it.
I fall back into my ways of drinking and smoking and drugs basically. Because I started in freshman year was when I started smoking. Like I was a big pothead, but then I started moving into alcohol towards senior year when I was fucking basically in my depression mode, where I would get so fucked up that I would black out and I know what I'm doing, which led to me doing the shit that I did with the other group, which broke up that group, which still to this day is kind of iffy, but it's kind of getting back together, I guess you can say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before in the past, and I'll say it again. Like you've done like an excellent job of like kind of just steering away from your old self. Cause you
Yeah.
would come to school, you'll have your fucking lean, you'll be
Yeah.
baked off your fucking ass.
I
you
would I would be fucked up every day, dude. Every day I would come to school, I'd be fucked up. Even on the final, I was fucked up, my dude. I had
He
took
he
a
he 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 would be like that, and you just see him pull out a 2 liter of Dr Pepper from his bag.
yup. I would have munchies up the ass, so I had food every day. Oh man, that's how high and fucking drunk I was at school every day.
Yo,
I kid
John's
you
in the
not.
chat right now.
I had a collection of bottles in my house. I had like I think 15 bottles in my room when my mom came back to live with us. So it was quite a bit.
Yeah. Like I said, like
And you finished all those bottles?
Huh? I finished every single bottle of them. I don't have them no more. My mom threw them away, but I collected them. But she threw them away.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I'm steering away. I mean, like, yeah, I do. I'm gonna admit I do smoke still, and I do drink, but it's controlled. It's not as bad as it was back then, where I would just do it to the point where I didn't give a fuck anymore, and I keep going until where I pass out sleepy from from everything.
uh
Like I
huh.
have it controlled. I have it literally. I don't do it on a daily basis. I do it from here to there, or like
You
once
you
or
you do
twice a
it
week.
when you feel like,
Recreationally.
I pretty
yeah,
much
when
do it to
you're
sleep. I pretty much do it to sleep because I suffer from sleeping. Like I can't sleep at
Insomnia,
night.
you mean?
Yeah, insomnia. I suffer from insomnia. I can't really sleep at
I
night, and
I
I
I,
struggle.
I always thought you did it because of you had like major anxiety or something. That's why I thought you did it.
Probably.
Sometimes I
I
just
think that
get
was
like
a. Go ahead.
I do it because I get like a minor hits of depression from here and there, and times to time. I don't know why, but it just hits me sometimes where I just don't want to talk to nobody, don't want to do nothing. Like I don't even want to watch TV. I just want to sit here and just think. Like I have thoughts where just like, oh, what if I wasn't here, shit like that. So that's why I smoke too.
Don't
I
say
just get
that.
my.
If you weren't here, don't say that. No, don't say that.
Well, I'm just saying. Those are some of the thoughts that I think of when I'm depressed, where like the little small depression comes out of nowhere. So I
Yeah.
smoke a little bit just so I can just get my mind off of that, and I'm relaxed and I'm chill. But most people think I just do it just to get fucked up. I'm like, no, because if I did, I would be like how I was in high school, fucked up, fucked up.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be giving a fuck. I would have been just telling everybody fuck off and shit. I would have just been by myself like I did last time.
Yeah, like there's a huge difference of who you are today and compared to your old high school self.
Yeah, major
Mhm.
difference. Yeah, I can see that difference. I don't see you in front of me right now, but if like you were, I would see the difference. I remember how you acted in high school,
Yeah,
and
I
the
was.
way you're acting now, there's a huge difference. You changed a
Yeah,
lot, and it was good for you.
yeah. I feel like in high school I was more childish and not like grasping on the knowledge of being an adult or being more mature for my age back then because I did act like a little kid most of the time. I did throw like little
Yeah,
fits like, oh, you know.
yeah, in high school, I thought I was more mature than you, but ever since you graduated high school, I'm the one still acting like a child. You're the one acting like an adult.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
John, dude. That's John.
Yeah,
Sorry,
cause
John.
yeah, cause like when like after high school, I was like, you know what, I fucked up. You know, I made mistakes. I need to stand up and apologize to these people that I fucked up. Like I considered them as my family back then. You know, to this day, like if they need my help, I would help them. I have no problem with helping them. You know, if they need my help, but that's up to them whether they choose or not to for me to help
Yeah,
them.
I remember I was part of that group that Leo was talking about. I still am, but it wasn't how it was back then. And
Yeah,
when all that happened, Leo didn't do anything to me, so I didn't want an apology from him. Like we're
but
still good, we're still good, but he still sent me one. That's how you
yeah.
could tell he changed. He still sent me an apology.
Like all the people that like I didn't even have a problem with or really didn't like do nothing to them. I still apologize for like being distant and for like not hanging. Like 'cause Sergio, I don't like know fully what the deal was with him, but I know it's because I didn't hang out with him as much because I know he wanted a friend back in the day, and I was trying to like hang with him, but like his parents didn't really let him, so like I stayed away from him. So I think that's one of the things, but I did apologize to him and to Alonso and to Anthony because I know I didn't really do nothing to Alonso or Anthony, so I apologized. And I know I did some stuff with John, but that was on accident because that's when I had a shitty phone, and my phone would send messages to random people or random contacts in my phone, and yeah,
Oh yeah, I
that's
remember that.
another
That happened with Instagram as well.
yeah.
I remember you sent like a random thing, and we were questioning why you sent it, but then your phone was done.
Yeah, so that's when I was messaging you like, oh shit, I didn't mean to send you this. I'm sorry. Like, it was my phone. My phone was being stupid. I had a shitty phone back then, like a really crappy phone until I got out of high school, started working, and got my own shit back. I got my like, I stepped up from what I was back then. Like, I had no plans of working or anything out of high school. Really, I didn't even know what I wanted to do after high school until I got out, and I was like, oh, I need to work. I need to support my sister, my family. You know.
And that
But
ties in a
when it
good thing. Okay, good.
no,
No, because
go ahead. I don't mind.
I had asked Alonso about like what does he see yourself, where does he see himself like in the near future, and the whole thing where you said the whole like gotta work and shit like that. I was just gonna
Yeah.
segue into like the question I'm gonna ask you is like, well, where do you see yourself like in the future? It doesn't have to be like 1 year from now, 5 years from now. It could be like any.
Well, basically what I see is myself having a profession of in photography because like I do want to do photography. Yeah, I wanted to do computer designing, I wanted to do gaming designing and stuff like that before. But like I don't know, for some reason my mind went towards photography now. I don't take photos of myself as much or of things, but
Yeah,
like
you do. Like you take
hey,
your,
hey.
like, just go on your fucking Instagram,
Hey,
dude.
hey, 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 but I'm saying like I don't
Every
do it
time
on
he
a
posted the photo,
professional
we would
level.
make fun of him.
I'm saying I don't do it on a professional level, like with the camera and everything, like how they do photo shoots. Like I want to do that later on, and then maybe have my own little photography business, I guess you can say,
I mean,
where I take
I
pictures
have
and stuff like that.
I have a camera, Leo. If you want to do like a little photo shoot, just get your outfits.
No,
Just
like I'm
walk
saying,
away.
I'm saying like I want to
Fuckboy
practice
Inc.
myself with the camera, like teach
Fuck
myself on
boy
how to do
ego.
stuff like that, bro. As long as it has filters, I'm fine. No, it has to have the dog filter, okay? No.
Wow, wow.
Um, and then I feel like in the future I feel like starting a family, with somebody that's actually gonna be there, like not gonna cheat on me and shit
Is it
like
with your
that.
current girl?
What?
Yeah.
No. We can gloss
What?
over that. No. Ignore that.
What was
No,
that?
no, 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 no. I was gonna
His
say
Batman
like
side came out. Like justice.
justice. Where's the photo shoot?
Where's the photo?
Where's the dog filter?
Oh shit. Yeah,
Okay, Israel, I know you made this podcast to get to know us, but I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know a lot about you.
Yeah, and I
So,
keep it that way for a reason too. Like, I would say I'm like the least known out of the entire group, and there's a
yeah,
specific reason
yeah.
why.
Like I know some stuff about Israel, but I don't know like to a full extent about him. You know,
Yeah,
just like
because
I.
with Leo,
Go ahead.
like something like, cause I hang out with Leo out of mostly out of like in the entirety of the group, just cause like
yeah.
ever since high school we kind of got close. But I'll
Yeah,
say
we
some
hung out a lot.
things to him that I would never say to the chat, cause it's at a
Yeah.
time where like I often compare myself to a bottle, and I just
Uh,
have a lot of shit that kind of just goes into that bottle. And
Yeah.
and
sometimes
you
when
don't
you
want to
fill
let
a
it out.
bottle too much, or shit just slips out. And those are those moments that I have with
Um,
Leo. Is
Yeah.
I'll just say one thing.
no, if you don't
Is
want to, you don't have
no, I'll just say one thing because I think it's been a while since I've really felt like this. Um, but it was like I said, you tend to slip out, and I keep it that way just because I don't want anybody really kind of just uh how do I say this without sounding
You,
like an
you don't
anime
want people
character.
work like I. No, I'm guessing you don't want people to worry about you as much. Like you don't want people like to always be like, oh, is this refined? Is this? Is this? You know,
Yeah,
like.
like I don't like it because I get this from my family a lot. Like they'll misdiagnose me, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm fine," and they'll be like, "No, I don't think you are." And
And then
sometimes I'd say it's a 90% of the time they kind of just misdiagnose me as like not feeling okay.
and so
And
then you end up start having that mentality in your head and start thinking,
yeah,
you know, and then then that's when the little slight depression comes in, you know, and it starts fucking with your shit. It starts fucking with your mind and how you feel, and then you're like, oh, now I'm not fine, you know, because
yeah,
they keep putting it over and over in your head, so that way you're just like, oh, I'm not fine. I'm fucking shit, you know. I'm pretty fucked up,
yeah.
or shit like that.
And so the there's a reason why like in the chat when like suicide like the whole talk about the whole suicide thing. I'm not going to mention exactly what happened for those who are listening because the person in the chat I don't think they want to reveal who was involved.
Uh huh.
But like I take suicide very seriously when it's talked in a serious manner.
Uh huh.
to.
And when they were just kind of just fucking up, kind of just almost driving that person to the point of suicide. Like, I always take shit like that serious because,
Yeah.
Leo can equate to this where like we have
Yes.
thoughts of. For
Yes.
those who don't
It's,
know, I'm like I might not seem like it, but I get really fucking depressed. Um, more times than like the normal person should,
yeah.
and it's from what I've talked to a psychiatrist because I've got to the point where I had to talk to a psychiatrist about it, which I've kept away from my family. But
Oh, your family doesn't know about that?
no, they don't,
I thought
and
they
I
did.
thought they did.
no, because they've they've been telling me like horror stories, like oh you can't, because I've been on meds before, but I stopped taking them because of what my family was saying. They're like I don't want you being on medication because that shit's gonna fuck you up and shit like that. And for a while it was working, but I kept getting scared because they would tell me like shit like, don't ever be on meds or shit like that. And I kind of went behind their back, and I did it for like the sake of my own mental health.
Yeah, you did it because you
Hmm.
wanted to make yourself like you wanted
But
to better yourself and not feel like the way you've been feeling
yeah,
or
because fuck, dude, like if anybody out there knows, like depression's a fucking bitch to fucking deal with. And then in
yes
my
it
Yeah.
is.
case, I just have no control over it. And it really just sucks when you're at that state of mind where you have no control and you just constantly feel like fucking shit. And it just kind of just goes segue into like what I was gonna tell earlier, where I was talking to Leo at one point because I know he wanted to go see a girl, and I dropped him off. It was by the church. I don't know if you remember, Leo,
I think so. I'm
where
not
you say he
positive.
wanted to go sleep with the girl.
Okay, I think so. I think I remember now. Yeah,
Yeah,
she this
I
girl called me and she was like, "Oh, let's," and I was like, "Oh, I'll see what I can do." Yeah. Plus, Israel, when he was dropping me off, I was like, "Hey, can you drop me off over here instead of at home?" He's like, "Yeah, sure."
but yeah,
No,
like
when go ahead, finish.
no, go.
Oh no, because when you brought up the point of like you taking meds do because of your depression, I didn't deal with depression. I was like antisocial. I would just say
No, you're not
antisocial because I
antisocial.
wasn't.
The true definition of antisocial is a sociopath, and you're not a sociopath.
Oh well, sorry, I didn't know that. But with me, I didn't deal with depression, but I deal with anger issues. And I went to therapy for anger management, and they they told my mom that I should take medication to deal with that, but my mom didn't let them. And from the looks of it, she told me, I don't know what stories your parents told you, Israel, but I feel like the stories were similar because she told me that those meds basically hurt your brain when you take them, and that basically got me paranoid. So for me, it was a good thing I didn't take those meds. I still deal with anger issues now. You guys don't see it in the chat because
I mean, it's just
I
chat.
just
You
take
can't really
it. Like those
read
moments when
emotion.
John, those moments when John tells me why I don't defend myself, it's because I just take it in. I don't. I feel like those anger issues will come out of nowhere, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, you don't want to like just out of nowhere like over, like go out and then like blow out. I guess you can say blow out and then
Yeah,
say
and
something that
regret
you're
it.
gonna regret later on down the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I suffered from anger issues too as a young age when like I said, cause my family would treat me like shit. Well, how I felt, how that's how they felt. That's how I felt they treated me when they would yell at me and make me do all this stuff and shit. Like when I was young and I couldn't really do stuff or hang out with friends, and so I got like to the age of 12, I really couldn't go out with friends, cause my family was overprotective and they also made me do a lot of shit. And like every time they would do that and I would get mad, I would punch walls and like break shit. But like it was mostly like to the point where I socked the living room wall right there by my door. And I broke through that wall. Those walls are pretty thick, and I had so much anger that I broke through that wall. My fist got stuck, and I pulled it out, and I had like a slice on my fist. And it didn't bother me because I was so angry to the point where I even went outside and I socked the pillars. You know the pillars on my back, the wood ones.
Yeah.
I socked those things until my hand was like red and like white and shit. Basically, that's how bad my anger issues were
Wow.
back then. Until I got it in check, and I was like, I gotta stop being angry. And like even when I mean I gotta admit, my mom did hit me back in the days, but like there's not once did I ever let my anger issues push me to the point where I hit my mom. That's one thing that she taught me and raised me never to hit a woman. So like no matter what,
Same here.
my aunt or like my mom or anybody whoever like hits me or gets like tries to like do shit to me, I don't hit them. I just push them away unless you're a dude and like you're fucking like literally getting in my face talking shit that you don't know about or like talking shit on my family or calling my grandma or somebody a bitch or something. That's one thing I won't let happen. If you're causing drama or some shit in front of my house, you better keep going or I'm gonna make it go. Basically that's how I was back then, and I still am to this day. But I'm not as crazy as I was back then.
You're still crazy, but on a fun
Different
level,
level.
not threatening level.
Yeah. Okay, you were saying Israel about dropping me off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Israel. I didn't mean
No,
to.
no, it's fine. I mean, as long as we get back on track. Uh, no, but I had slipped up about I kind of opened up a little bit to Leo, where I was just having suicidal thoughts at the time, and it was like before I got prescribed the medication, but that's like the reason why I kind of just I said to myself like, fuck it, like I honestly do need help.
Uh huh.
And it was I told Leo, I was like, yo, dude, I like I had like the thought of like, cause it was like I was driving to work
Oh yeah.
And
Okay. Yes, I remember this one. Yeah, I remember this one.
yeah, and I was driving to work, and I just felt like shit. And it went to the point where I kind of saw a trailer, on the opposite side of the road, and I just felt like just kind of just like veering my car into the fucking into the trailer and just fucking ending it there. And like I told that to Leah, and he's like, "Yo, are you feeling fine right now?" I told him I was like, "Yeah, I'm feeling at the time I told him like, yeah, I'm better now, but like it's just like you said, like I don't open up too much in the to you guys just because I prefer to keep it that way. Maybe sometime in the future more I'll say more as I'm more comfortable, but at the moment like there's still gonna be a lot of shit that you guys don't know about me.
Yeah, it's just you're trying to figure out who you are and like completely, you want to figure out what's like, what's bothering you completely before you go and say that, this is bothering you, but it's something else, you want to figure out.
You want to find out the problems before you
Yeah, you want to
talk
be
about
able
it.
to I'm
Yeah.
guessing you want to like be able to confront those feelings and those thoughts that you have in your head and be like, you're not gonna I'm not gonna let these things, fuck me over or ruin my life. You want to be able to have that confidence before you open up fully and completely to us and let us know what you've been through and.
Yeah, because I find myself a little bit hypocritical. Like I said, in the whole at the time when we were talking about in the chat where like someone was fucking up about what they should say to their sibling.
Yeah.
Uh, I leave after that chat like I'm like fuck I'm such a fucking hypocrite like I'm dealing with the same shit with the same state of mind, but I shouldn't be going out to telling people what how they should feel, how they should cope, and everything. Because I, to this day, I still don't know how to do any of that shit. And it's like one of those things where like mental health is like such a complicated subject.
Hmm.
Like you guys know the incident what happened with Etika, right?
Yes.
The dude like at first you think like oh it's just they're just like goofing around and you you don't know exactly what the fuck's going on, but you kind of just like you just can't diagnose someone at that point. And for those who
Hmm.
don't know who Etika is, Etika was a YouTube streamer to say the least, and he was like one of the most interactive personas like out of all of YouTube. Like he would stream for fucking hours like he made it feel like you were like talking to him personally. Like if you know this dude is the definition of a fucking hype beast. And no, because he really was like if you see like one of his like reaction videos like I remember when was it Net Nobody did the diss track on KSI. That dude was
Hmm.
just fucking wildly. He was just wildly. He was like because you know the memes I've been sending you guys, like those are like authentic, like him, like that's like him on his stream, like that's how he was on.
Yeah, they're funny memes. I
Yeah.
like them.
He seems like
Yeah,
he had a lot of joy and stuff. I bet a lot of people just didn't see, like
yeah,
what it
like
was
people,
behind all that.
yeah, because if you see his like someone like that, you don't know what the fuck they're going through, and he was like one of
Yeah,
the happiest fucking people. That's why I said like mental health is like some of the most complicated fucking shit
yeah,
that's
cause you
out
could be
there.
yeah, cause you could be the happiest person, but yet you could also be like the most saddest person going through so much shit that nobody knows because you put on a smile and you put on a face for everybody to see. That when you do like when you do like you said, when you have stuff bottled up and it does leak out a little bit and people see that, they try to say, oh, it's a joke, or social media tries to twist it to the like, oh, he's just fucking around, or this, or he's crazy and that. Like with the whole people saying, oh, you're a god and stuff. Like people were taking that too far, like, and saying, oh, he's fine, he's just crazy, he's just doing this and that. Like, no, like he does have issues. You gotta understand that he has issues, and you guys are just basically promoting him to do and more shit that what's gonna harm him. You know?
Yeah.
They basically endangered him.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand. They think it's all a joke, and it's all like, no, it's a serious matter. Like, if someone's having problems, you don't fucking encourage them to go commit suicide, acting like it's a joke. It's not a joke, you know. Like, if they're really serious
Yeah.
about this, then you talk to them, you try to help them, and see what the hell they're going through. Because at the end of the day, if you feel like that, you're gonna want somebody to help you. I don't know, maybe not, maybe so, but if you do want the help, you want somebody to be there at least, you know. So like, might as well give the same. Like, what is that thing called, the golden rule or whatever? Treat others the way you want to be treated, basically. So I'm
Oh
saying,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
so
way
I'm
you said
saying
it.
if, yeah, so saying if someone's in depression and they want to commit suicide, you be there, you help them, like you would want somebody to help you if you were in that state. Don't treat
Yeah.
it as a joke or a laughing matter, you know. Unless they're joking around or it's like a joking matter, then that's fine. But there's a certain extent to that. Don't go too overboard because then they might get the thought of it, or they might start thinking about it, you know.
Yeah. Like I've said to this person, I've took a class in psychology during the
Mm.
time when we were doing our seasonal job as carpet
Mm.
cleaners, and he said my professor said like what therapists do. You'll probably like notice this next time like you like see like a therapy session or whatever. But you
Uh.
don't make your like the person who's feeling down. You don't make them try to defend themselves, and because once you do, they're gonna try to find like an excuse, and they're gonna wild out. They're gonna say, "Oh, why are you doing this to me?" You know, you're just kind of
Yeah.
slumping them more down into a downward spiral,
Yeah.
and you kind of just try to. And that's what I exactly told this person. I was like, you don't make him play defensive because he was saying things that kind of just like kind of get him to get his sibling into a position where they have to defend themselves because
Yeah.
like if for those who don't know, like for people in that state of mind, they can't defend themselves. They kind of
They just it just makes them feel more like shit. Like, so, say like if you tell them why you want to do this, but like why you being stupid or why you doing this, you know, that's just gonna keep thinking I'm like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, you know, like I'm fucking
yeah, it's like,
retarded for
oh,
crying out
maybe
loud.
I am
Failure. I can't
stupid
do
and shit like
anything.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not capable of staying alive. Like if I'm stupid enough to kill myself, why am I gonna stay alive? You know, it just pushes them. It gives them the moral mentality to actually push forward and do it. So like you're basically, I think the way you're supposed to approach it is like, you know, what's going on, what are you thinking about, you know, why do you feel like this, or
Yeah,
what is
basically
causing this.
try to make him talk about their feelings.
Yeah, make them
You
try to
make him
comfort
talk,
them.
but try
Yeah,
not to
Yeah,
yeah,
make
make
them feel like
not
they're the
they're
at
the
fault.
fucking yeah, they're the
yeah.
problem. Try to make them not feel like they're not the problem, you know. Like try to help them out of that state, so that way they keep going, you know, living instead of ending it there. Because a lot of people, depression may suicidal may not be like a big cause of death, but it still is a great number. You know, I don't know if you
Yeah,
look it up, it's probably like what
it's like eight
around that.
hundred
I
thousand a year, I think.
Yeah.
It's
So
fucking
isn't
wild.
suicide like in like the top five? I thought it was.
I don't think
no,
so, cause I think you'll see more people dying of like drunk driving,
yeah, or shit
drug
like that,
overdose,
or
shootings,
shootings.
especially in this country,
Um,
dude. Like fucking
yeah.
shootings are just
So it's like suicidal's not like like one of the major death things, but it's still there. That's
it's
what the thing
it's probably like
people
top
don't
10
notice.
for sure,
Yeah,
but
that's what people don't notice. Like it's still there. It's still a major issue. It's just it's not as I guess because it's not on the news or it's not like major fucking thing that people are not like I guess how can you say attending to it or like making it more aware that suicidal and depression and shit like that it's a really major issue. Because yeah, there's
yeah,
suicidal hotlines and stuff like that, but it's just a matter of the person, like the people around that person, to help them go towards it, and, you know, to help them get more help and shit like that.
yeah,
I feel like there should be more like options for you, not like options, I guess you could say, like, but more things out there for you to get help with, you know.
well the help is there. I think what needs to be changed is public perception of
Mhm.
because like I've said, what really like shifted the public perception of like how like mental health should be viewed. Because like a couple of years ago, people had a very different opinion on how what is mental health. Because the field of like psychology is it's still a brand new subject that people are going into, and if I remember
Mhm.
correctly from class, psychology has only been around for like 50 or so years. It's not a long time, and so like people are just like, oh, like you're feeling like you'll see stupid people go on and say, oh, you're not sad, you feelings come and go and shit like that, but that's not the fucking case. And I what I've really from what I've seen, the when like I said, like the whole etiquette situation, it really made people like change their perception of how mental health should be dealt with, and
Mhm.
because you'll
Yeah,
see people. Go ahead.
when you sent those videos of Erica, and he made me laugh. I didn't watch his videos, but he made me laugh.
Yeah, I didn't watch him either, but he made me laugh from those videos that you sent. He
Mhm.
seemed like he was a pretty good YouTuber, and
Yeah,
it
and
sucks that I
from
didn't get a chance to watch him, in his prime and shit like
yeah,
that.
and from the way he was talking, from the way he acts, I thought he was living a good life. But then
Mhm.
the next day, I just see a whole bunch of YouTube videos saying that he committed suicide, and that basically changed. For me, it changed my view on how you have to look closely. Just because they're happy doesn't mean they're actually happy.
Never judge a book by its cover, basically.
Yeah, there we go.
Until you read that novel, then you will understand the true meaning of the book title. So never judge the book cover. Never judge a book by its cover until you read that book.
Yeah, there's some instances where it's obvious they need fucking help. Like
Mhm.
you'll see like a homeless man like shouting out, "I'm fucking the second coming of Christ," shit like that. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that dude fucking needs
That's
help.
yeah.
But there's some cases, in rare cases, like the whole etiquette situation where you, it's so hard, and I'm glad. Well, I'm not glad that he fucking died because I was like one of his fucking biggest fucking fans. Like I've been watching that dude for since
Yeah, I know.
he was the one of the main reasons why I really got into Smash. And if you know me, I'm like obsessed over that fucking game. It's like my fucking
Yeah.
cocaine. But he was one of
Yeah,
the. That's why I wanted to get you guys
yeah.
into it
If you talk
because.
smack about his game,
But like that's why I
it's,
wanted to
it's,
get you
it's,
guys into like fucking Smash Bros. Because I knew like because it's based off of like my view of the community of the Smash community, which Etika was
yeah.
like anybody in the Nintendo scene would agree that he was like the like the leader per se of the like the leading force of the community, and I really wanted to
He
share
was
that
the
with more
Darth.
people.
He was the Darth Vader, but good of the Smash community. He
Hmm.
he led everybody.
Mhm.
He showed them
You
that
show
this
them the way
game
of the
was
force.
good. There we go.
No, but like I said, he was just it's just shit like this is just so fucked up, and you get to a point where like a lot of because I know Keemstar had a different opinion. Like even he thought like because he said this on Twitter and both on Twitter on YouTube, where
Mhm.
because he did an interview with Etika and. From the interview, you're like, yeah, this dude was fucking crazy because he was like saying, "Oh, I'm the Antichrist" and shit like that. And
That's
keeps
because what society put in his head,
and
basically.
Keemstar, he was like, "Yeah, this dude's a fucking nut job and shit like that." But he said on Twitter, like he even did like a Twitter video where he's like, he after the interview, like he got to talk, he like did like an actual talk with Etika,
Mm.
and like shit like that, like from what he said is like. If you know Etika, like he likes to put on the show, and that's what the interview was. And like looking back, I was like, yeah, that's some of it's pretty obvious, but deep down, like this dude needed help. But
Yeah,
he had like a
but
change of view, because he at first he really did think Etika was just a nub job, but like after talking to him and like seeing who he really is, and after like the whole suicide situation, and
mhm.
it really did change his perception on mental health because he was really stubborn about
Mhm.
mental health, depression, all that, because he'll go back to saying he had like a weird view of like depression because I understand what he's trying to say, but it's kind of like iffy. Like, not iffy, but like it's kind of strange because he'll say, no one in my house is depressed. No one. I'm like, I'm not. It's not exact quote, but he's like, no one in my house is like allowed to get depressed. Like we don't get depressed, and and what he means by that, I think, is like, we can't really let depression get us down because it does hinder you in
Mhm.
your success. But like, there's just situations like in the etiquette situations, like it just can't get you just can't help it. Shit just happens.
Yeah, and I think it, like you said, it did change a lot of people's perspective because they thought it was a joke. When
Yeah,
the time she said, I'm gonna commit suicide, and he never did it, they all thought it was a joke. Like, oh, he's not gonna do it. He's too scared to do it. A lot
yeah,
of people were, some people were saying that or have that mentality, and it pushed him more to that edge because he was probably on a thin edge for the longest, and people wouldn't know because like you said, he wants to put on a show for his fans. He wants to make sure they're happy and they're excited and they're enjoying and they feel the entertainment that they need to, from him. But the people misinterpreted that and to put, oh, he's joking about everything, when he reality he really needed the help of and support of his fans to get him out of that state. But some of them pushed him by saying, "Oh, he's not gonna do it. He's not mad enough to do it. He's just messing around. He's just saying that." And then when he did it, they're like, "Oh shit, he really was serious about this." And we can't really change what happened in the past, but maybe in the future they will see it a different way as not a joking manner, but as a serious matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, in the field of psychology, it does get to the point where it's advanced well enough to where you could accurately kind of just diagnose someone. But
Mm.
like I said, the field of psychology is so brand new. It's like one of the newest like fields that us humans have been, venturing in because it hasn't really been adopted, but until like I think it was like the 1950s or some shit or 70s.
Mm.
I forgot. I would have to look back at my psychology notes, but like I said, it's still brand new, and hopefully we do get to the point where it's really well known. People have a good understanding of the subject, and people just take it more
Mm.
seriously. Because like you said, like no one really knows what the fuck someone's going through until you actually read their
Yeah.
novel.
Hmm. It's basically a good way to interpret it and to put it into words. And, basically find out what the story and the plot is before.
You judge it.
Yeah,
So say like you say mm, it could be like what, a soda or something, like a new flavor comes out. You're judging it. You're like, oh, that should probably taste horrible because of the way it looks. Or it could be like, that shit tastes really good just from the way it looks and from the flavor that it says. Until you really try that drink, you won't really know whether it's good or not from the from the inside of what they made. So yeah,
yeah. You want to switch to a lighter topic and end it there?
pretty much, yeah.
All
Yeah, pretty much.
right. Let's see. What's going on in the world of in this world?
Um, Trump.
Let's talk about those Visco girls. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, just no, no. Please don't. They're like some of the most annoying fucking people on this fucking planet.
That's why.
No,
That's why I
I said
said
let's switch
it.
it to a lighter note, not like a fucking more depressing note.
Scrunchies.
Scrunchies.
Eh,
Oops, I dropped my hydro flask.
I got a topic. Leo, when are you gonna fucking restart your fucking YouTube channel, dude?
Wow,
Oh
you fucking
shoot.
did.
Oh shoot.
Like I said, when I get a camera, when I start saving up enough for a camera and a laptop to start editing shit like that, I'll get back into it.
You know what I'm
But for
sad
now,
about?
like,
Or not sad,
what?
but like a little bit disappointed in myself about when Israel brought up that he had a seasonal cleaning job. It just reminded me that I applied to where you guys work, and I instantly got rejected.
Oh shit.
But that wasn't your fault. That was because our supervisor, our dumb supervisor, filled up on the roles.
Yeah,
I don't know
man.
what to talk about.
Well, I kind of.
What is going on in the world right now?
Oh, it's a lot of depressing shit. Yeah, I mean, the whole BlizzCon
Mhm.
thing just happened.
Yeah,
Um,
mostly. Yeah,
yeah, because if
Or
people don't know,
basically everything going on in the world right now is depressing.
oh, it's like pretty depressing right now. I think like people are fighting over Twitter right now because Donald Trump did a Photoshop. I don't think he physically photoshopped the photo, but it was him like awarding the dog that killed like the leader of ISIS. And,
yeah,
and people were just fucking pissed off about that. They're like, oh my god, the
Wait,
president,
why?
why is he doing this shit? And it's like, dude, it's a fucking meme. It's just
Yeah.
people just trying to find
but
every little thing.
yeah. The other thing that I got mad about though about Donald Trump is that how he thanked Russia, and I think it was Turkey before he thanked the U.S. troops that were down there. You know.
Oh, he made the Turkish um leader. I don't know if they have a president or whatever. He made them investigate Russia,
Mhm.
and then because of that, all the U.S. troops were removed from Turkey, and basically a whole war started because they left.
Mhm. And then at that point, he was like, "Why am I gonna send troops to help them for? If anything, they owe us for helping them." And then a lot of people are proving it that like what the fuck they paid for these troops that we're sending. It's not like we're giving them for
Wait, they
free.
paid for them?
Yeah, they're paying for
I
the
didn't know
support.
that.
It was on CNN. I watch the news with my grandma sometimes, so I know.
Um, I need to start watching the news again.
So basically, they pay for the troops, but he's like, "Oh, eventually they owe us because we help." Excuse me, we helped them with this and we helped them with that. I was like, "They're our allies. They helped us do this and this. It's we should help them too. But he's like, "No, this is why should we help them? They owe us of anything and stuff like that." And he's like, "Oh, why should I have my troops in there for of Russia?" He's always literally going towards Russia every time he talks. He's like, "Oh, Russia's gonna be there. They have ISIS scared. ISIS is scared of Russia. ISIS wasn't scared of Russia. ISIS wasn't scared of nobody really."
ISIS, if I remember correctly, the thing that they're scared of was the Western influence, because they have such a polarizing view of how the Western nation is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Politics in general is just it's just so fucking stupid to keep up with because you'll have people on the left or the right. Like everybody is, mostly every politician just corrupt. You just kind of have to
Yeah.
live with it.
Yeah. So now a lot of people that supported him are all switching off to his side. They're like, "No, you're wrong." You know, like
Like
we thought you were a good president, but now you're just fucking shit up. Like you're ruining a lot of shit that we need. Like with China, we lost.
Basically, when Trump became president, for all the things he got credit for was due to Obama. Obama did a whole bunch of things,
yeah,
and as
but
soon as he
then
left,
again,
that
Obama did some fucking shady shit too.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Every
true.
every
That's
every
true.
president except either Roosevelt, who's the real one,
Mm.
has done some pretty shady shit on the side.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, Trump did do something good for us. He did improve the economy for us, but there's other shit that he should have done instead of doing the way he did it.
I'm still waiting for
Because
the
he acts
recession to go.
because he acts like he's like the
Well, what's
higher up, like
that?
he could do whatever he
The
wants.
recession is the plummeting economy that we have right now. We're still in a
Oh,
recession, but it's slowly going up, but it's not where it should be. Like previously before '08, before Obama took in. Um,
Yeah, that's but the way Trump is, he's like, "Oh, I'm the greatest. I have everything the best." That's how he talks. And then CNN goes and he proves he's like, "No, you're not the greatest, and no, this is not the best it's ever been." And they show the stats and everything. He's like, "Oh," and then he goes on afterwards. He's like, "That's fake news. That's bullshit media." I'm like, really? They're proving facts. They have
yeah, like
documentation.
sometimes, yeah, like they'll prove them wrong, but a
yeah.
lot of times the right does catch the left in some fucking shady ass shit. I remember
Mhm.
they like edited footage of like Trump or some shit like that to make him look bad and shit. But if you get like the actual like the full length thing, like they made him say one thing when it was actually another thing. Or they'll like
Mhm.
cut him off of context and shit like that. Like I said, like during the presidential election, I hated fucking Trump, and mainly it's
I
because I'm
did too.
fucking Mexican. But I also hated fucking Hillary. She wasn't as good too. Yeah, she was the lesser of two evils, but like it's like either voting for Stalin or voting for Hitler at this point, you know? like,
Yeah. So
like
basically,
you have no choice.
yeah. I feel like we went for Hitler though.
I don't remember who I voted. I think I did vote for Hillary, but
I voted for
this
Hillary.
election I want to go for Tulsi. Tulsi, or how do you pronounce her name? Sorry.
I didn't vote because I wasn't old enough. You guys are older than me by 1 year.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like going towards Bernie, but then I don't know yet completely.
No, I was like a diehard Bernie fan, but like I don't know, like after
Like
looking
I
more into
said,
his policies, I was like, yeah, this is basically like socialism. I don't want that. It felt for the communists. Like, no, no, thank you.
I just want to keep my options open and hear what every other candidate has to say before I make my final decision on who I'm gonna vote on.
Yeah, I think this election I'm gonna focus more, because I remember I did it last second. I voted on last second with no good information, because I fucking hate listening to fucking politics. It's just some of the most depressing shit out there, dude. And
Mhm.
it's basically who has a bigger
Mhm.
dick, you know. Trump's like, oh, I have a big dick, and Hillary's like, no, I have a bigger dick. And it's just that silly, childish fight that
Mhm.
you'll see at preschool.
Or like they try to say, like the other person's dick is cricket. Oh, he has a limp dick. It's like what the fuck? Who gives a fuck? What are you gonna do for us? Who gives a fuck what the other person did? What are you gonna do to help us?
Yeah.
And like we didn't give a fuck.
The number one thing that I really want the government to do is all these expensive things. Things that were cheap back then are super expensive today.
Yeah,
It's
fucking
because
rent is like the
it's
perfect
be-
example for that shit, dude. Rent's too
yeah.
high.
And
Even for fucking California, dude.
right now the things that are getting expensive is because there's a lot higher tariffs on trade goods now because of Trump. Like with China, he's charging them more, and China is charging us more now for us to
Well,
move
not
shit
only
over there.
that, but I think it was the Democrats who appealed for minimum wage to go higher, and
That too, so
that then
yeah,
creates inflation into a lot of shit.
that's
That's when
true.
it really started
Yeah,
getting bad.
I don't know if you guys, but remember how we all used to sell stuff in high school, and we
Yeah.
got that
I was the
big box
fucking
of like
kingpin,
chips.
dude. I was the Walter White of that school.
you, but what you call it? You know how those boxes of chips costed $11 for the box of 30?
Now they charge 13.
Yeah, 13 around
Yeah,
there.
right. It's 13 now.
Yep, it's expensive. Even candy, dude. Fucking, I bought a little bag of beef jerky for like $12, and the bigger bag was like $15. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, you'll see like Walmart and shit. They'll sell like a little bag for like $11. I'm like, no, that's not worth it. What the fuck?
Or like a bag of
Yeah.
chips. And the bag of chips are like what, $3 a bag? It was
Yeah, they
fucking
used to
half
be
of
like
Yeah,
a
and half.
dollar,
the
dude.
normal size. Yeah, they were $1 back then. They were $1. Every
Now
time
they're
you got
like
a
two
dollar
something.
from like cleaning your room, you would be excited to go to the store because you can get those regular size bags for $1. But
Yeah,
now,
but
like Leo said,
now
they're
it's
like
half.
3 something.
It's a
Yeah, for a
dollar.
big bag.
It's like close to $2 for a regular size bag. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, for a big bag it's like three something, and half of it's
Hmm.
fucking air, bro. Like the rest of it's chips,
Yeah,
and half of it's
that's like
air.
when I go to the store to get those big bag of chips, I wait
I
till there's a
check.
special.
Yeah.
I just check to see which one has more.
This is why I love Arizona, because they keep their price the same. It's 99 cents.
Yeah.
Even cheaper at some stores where it's just cheaper, like 79 cents.
Why was it CVS when we went to? That was cheap as fuck. We
Yeah.
got what? We got four for like a $2.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking amazing. I'm hoping to get
Oh,
that
well,
Arizona sponsorship. So don't
Yeah.
talk anything bad about Arizona,
I,
dude.
I'm gonna change the subject for like 12 seconds. It has nothing to do with the podcast, but right now I'm alone again. But my parents were here, but they basically let me invite you guys if you guys want to come over and eat.
When?
Today?
Yeah, today.
Today?
Around what time?
Well, you guys can come right now if you want.
Well, Israel's going to go to the movies right now.
No, it's
You stay?
I stayed because it's 2:17 right now.
Uh,
Cause I don't know, like we were like talking, and I didn't want to like it'd be like in the middle of like suicidal thoughts, be like, hey guys, I gotta go to the movies, you know.
and then be there watching the movie, like, oh man, I get you, I get you. I see why you wanted to change the topic because low key I was getting into the mentality again, like like fuck,
Yeah, dude.
fuck
Like,
life. But
Yeah, well, they're gonna make some deep fried fish. If
that
you guys don't
sounds
want
good.
fish, then
I'll
I'll
probably
make you guys
go
some
in a
now.
couple hours because I ate like 3 quesadillas before coming on the
yeah,
podcast.
bro, and I just finished eating chips right now, beef jerky and a soda.
Well,
I'm like
you guys
kinda
don't have
full.
to come right now. I'm just saying you guys can
Do you want
start
to go
coming right
like
now if you want
later
to.
on, like around 5 o'clock, Leo?
Yeah, I'm down. You want us to bring anything?
Or Israel switch so we can play Jackbox.
I'll see if anybody else wants to go. Hopefully John can
Yeah.
come with us.
Oh, but this is like just between us.
And the
My
podcast.
mom. No, not the podcast. But
Well, we're
my
in the
mom.
podcast, so it's in the podcast.
Oh, well, it's in the podcast, yeah. But my mom is not a huge fan of two people in our groups. So like, if they come, I basically have to be more strict on them than you guys because you guys know how to behave in this house. That those
I
two
feel
don't.
like I know who it is.
Text it in chat because I don't.
I feel like I
Yeah,
know who it
okay.
is.
I'll say it. I'll text it to you personally.
I feel like it starts with a D and an A. I'll be back.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
I'll be back. Someone's at the door. I gotta see who it is.
I hear
Sure.
Lolo.
I'll be.
John's in the.
Yeah, he's
live stream
texting
right
in chat. He's like, I want to go. John. Oh wait, no, I don't have him in the messenger call.
now?
Cause it's a new.
I mean, you can go ahead and come, John, if you want.
Yeah, I'm down. I want to play some more Jackbox. The alien, cause
I like that
yesterday
alien
the
game.
alien
Yeah, the
game was
alien
so
game's
much
fun,
fun,
dude.
dude. I really need to
Wait,
invest
how
in
was
like that
Jackbox
dollar.
yesterday?
It was pretty fun.
I'm so
We
sorry
played
I
the
couldn't
alien
go
game.
yesterday, but how was it?
We played
Who went?
it was just 4 people. It was me, Leo, Xavier,
John
John.
and. Yeah, I would have been. I wanted to go so much, but I basically couldn't because my dad started drinking, and my mom. Right now, my mom is preparing her feet for surgery.
Uh-huh.
And I'm the only one that could drive technically now. I don't have my license, but I have my permit, but I can drive for them. So I couldn't go.
Hold up. I gotta turn off Wendy's thing real quick. Just
Sure,
say some random shit. Oh wait, never mind. It's off. It's off. It turned off. But
So
yeah. I mean, we played a bit of Jackbox. We played Smash Bros afterwards, and then we were just watching Michael Reeves. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's the guy who
he
like
sounds
builds
familiar.
robots and shit like that. And he does like stupid shit, like I don't know if you saw the Roomba video, where
Does he live like in Ireland or something? Like his
No.
voice sounds like Irish.
No.
That name sounds familiar. Let me search him up real quick.
All right.
What was his name?
Michael Reeves.
Michael Reeves.
Hmm.
I found it.
But yeah, he built like
I don't know this guy.
he built like a fucking Roomba, and like every time like the
The
Roomba
Roomba
would
that
crash into
screams when
something.
it bumps into stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video's right here.
This shit's fucking hilarious. I implore everybody to go fucking see that video by Michael Reeves.
I'll put it on my watch later.
That shit is just the funniest, dude. Oh my god. He said this in another podcast, in the official podcast by Moist Critical, where he kind of sees himself as the Jimmy Neutron of YouTube, and that's exactly what he is. Just fucking some
Yeah, from the
goofy
looks of
ass
his
shit.
channel that I'm looking at right now, he does look like Jimmy Neutron. Well, he doesn't look like Jimmy Neutron, but he acts like Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. Who's crying? Is that you again, Alonso?
No, it's Leo's side. I hear it too.
You know.
It's Leo's side. Is John still in the thing?
He's not in the YouTube chat because he was texting earlier, but he's not there no more.
I think he's getting ready.
Ready for what?
To come over because he texted in the group chat for Instagram.
Oh,
Like,
he
I want
just
to
said
go
he
to your
wanted to
house.
go, but that's not confirmation that he's going.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm down. I just gotta
you
I gotta go put in gas. Cause
so
I got,
I got a
cause my
subject
car's low.
to talk about.
Well,
Let's talk about the returning of Sprite Cranberry.
oh, didn't they rename? Cause there's a tweet going on. Someone asked if Sprite Cranberry is coming back, and they said no. But there's like a
I saw someone buy
repackage
a
of it.
box.
They like rebranded it. Let me go on Twitter right now, and I'll send you the picture.
I was at Food for Less and I saw
Is
a
it the
couple
bright red
buying.
the can and everything?
But on the box it said Sprite Cranberry.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have a rebrand of it.
Oh, they do? I didn't know that.
Here, I'm gonna send you a link to the tweet.
Sure. I'm sorry.
Let me go on. I'm on their Twitter right now. I'm trying so hard to fucking find it. Because I do want to fucking try it. From what I've seen, people are like saying, oh, it's like, it's sweet or some shit like that.
I'm back.
Hey,
I'm back. Do-do-do-da-dee-dee-da.
Alright, so we'll be talking about, boys?
Sprite Cranberry.
Yeah, the returning.
I love.
Like cranberry. No, I'm kidding. I never tried it. Oh, I could have bought some today.
No, it's because I was saying, all I can see are like the screen caps, but someone asked if it's gonna be returning, and Sprite replied saying Sprite Cranberry will not be returning this year. But as I was telling Alonso, they're rebranding it to let's see. Let me try find like the actual.
John says I want to go to your house, Alonso.
Yeah, I saw that. I told him go ahead. If he was still in the YouTube chat, I told him go ahead.
They call it Sprite Winter Spice Cranberry Mix. That's what they call it. So it's not the
Well, I had my food stamp card, but my grandma has it now, so all I got is like $5. Oh, Israel, remember how I had 49 when I left your house?
how you
There was an error in Postmates, and I got charged again for Postmates, so I had to wait to get my money back. Cause I came home, and I was gonna go buy Jack in the Box for me and my uncle while we were watching movies.
Mhm.
And my card got declined. I was like, why is it getting declined? So I was like, I gotta go to the ATM. But I went to the one by the high school because there was too many people at the other one. And so I was like, alright, I'm just gonna buy the one from right there by the ATM instead of going all the way back to the high school. And it says I had 49 in my account. Well, I called, and it's like, oh, you had 21. I was like, 21? What the hell? So then I check on the app. It's like, oh, you have $49. So I was like, okay, I have $49. I go to the ATM. I put my card in. It's like, oh, you have $49 available. So I try to take out 40. It's like, oh, overdraft fee. I'm like, what do you mean overdraft fee? So I put cancel. I was like, no. And then I look, and I take out only a 20. And then I look again. My available balance is only $1.19. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it only $1.19? So then I called the bank and they're like, oh, it seems like you were charged twice for Postmates. I was like, I was only purchased one thing, and it was for a total amount of $28.17. They're like, oh, well, the other one looks like it's an error, and it is an error, so we'll give you your money back. And I'm like, yeah, you have to get a new card.
Okay.
So that's why I was missing money. I was like, why am I missing money? I only spent like $30 in total, which was Postmates and Chinese food that we got. Oh gosh, what was that?
I feel a hint of success right now, dude. I just got an email right now from Indeed. Of course, you guys know that. And you know how you can upload your own resume?
They messaged you about a job?
Yeah, they mentioned me about a job. And I'm actually happy that happened.
Nice.
When you get money, you get bitches. No,
We're live on a podcast. Why the fuck are you treating women like that?
What happened, Leo?
I was kidding. Alonso, where the fuck are my pomegranates, bro?
Hey. You didn't save me your burger.
Bro, you said that was my present, man. Give me my fucking pomegranate. Israel,
When you
I,
come today, you're gonna
Israel,
come today, aren't you?
Israel, I don't think the pomegranates that you have are ripe because I was
I
eating
know.
really
I even
sour.
told you. You're like, oh no, this one looks ready. I was like, okay.
It looks ready.
You
Because
guys
when
have
the
pomegranate?
because
I
when the
do,
top
but like I knew they weren't as well
because
as they
when
envisioned.
the top is open on a pomegranate, that means they're ready. But these were like really sour and shit, like super sour.
John said to look at the chat, Israel.
Well, I know. I saw. He said
Why
he'll be
doesn't he
able
just
to.
join? Why doesn't he just join the call?
Cause it's
Because
a
he's
special group
painting.
chat, and yeah, he's
He's
painting.
painting.
So he
That's
could
why he
possibly
couldn't make it.
Yeah.
tell him to paint himself white. White power. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
no,
kidding.
no, Leo.
This
No,
video's gonna
I'm
get
just
taken
kidding.
off of YouTube. Watch for
I'm
hate
just kidding. I'm
speech.
Mexican. I'm Mexican. No, Mr. Trump. No, don't put me, Mr. Trump. No, I'm Senior Trump. let's play some Fortnite, boys. Y'all down?
Yeah, we could play some
Streaming
Fortnite. We could end the stream here. I think we've. This is a good first episode.
Yeah,
It
it was fun.
was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I'm hoping to get
Made me
other
cry.
members of Team Tree. Not only that, I'm hoping to get
Some
some
other
other
people?
people who I'm really close to into this cast, into this cast. So hopefully, because I kind of want to talk to some older, not older people, but like people I had history with. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to see if I could get my cousin on or my childhood friend, and shit like that, you know. But next week, I think we're
Dude,
doing John next week because I told him we could do a one-on-one with him next week.
dude, I bought another bottle of alcohol. The little
Oh,
one.
John just finished. You can add him to the chat. He just finished.
Can you guys
Wow.
add him?
Adam, why
Um,
don't we just stream while we're playing Fortnite?
No, I mean,
What?
no, I just want this to be a podcast. That's why. But if John wants to
What?
be added to the chat, if he wants to say anything, we could probably
Well,
add him.
Adam right now. Let's see if he wants to do anything.
I
While
just
we're
added
doing
him
that.
right now.
Can you guys add him? Because I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep the screen how
Yeah.
it is.
It says it's contacting Jonathan.
Alright, while you do that, I'm gonna load up for Fortnite. So yeah. Yeah, so I just bought myself a little bottle of empty because I didn't feel like drinking my other one.
Hello.
There he is.
There's the loser. No, I'm kidding.
I was listening to you guys the whole time, including the part where Israel was talking trash.
When was I talking
I was
trash?
like towards the middle when after Leo was talking about his depression and stuff.
No, I wasn't. I didn't say your name, so I don't know how.
Yes, you did.
No, we
No,
didn't.
no,
None
you,
of
Yeah.
we didn't
replay that.
mention it.
Replay that.
We
Replay
didn't
that.
bring up anybody's name.
When I get the chance, I'll replay it.
We,
I
we
just
didn't
finished
say names.
painting. I'm not 100% done because I still need to move everything back and let my room dry. But I'll get ready
Oh,
in
your
a
room's
bit,
done?
and I'll have. Yeah, I'll send. I'll take a picture later,
I've only
um,
have two
and
things
I'll
left.
let you guys know when I'm ready.
I need to buy more of these.
You're gonna.
Okay.
I was saying,
That's
can you join us in Fortnite, but you don't have internet?
Yeah, not yet. Soon. I don't know how long, but soon. Uh,
Let me update my
uh,
stuff on here before we go,
I just
so
want
that
to
way
let
I
you guys
can
know.
do it.
I'll probably text the chat again. I'll let you guys know when I'm ready.
Okay, well,
Well,
I think we're gonna go around till Alonso's like around 5 o'clock, around there. So that should be
Okay,
plenty of
I'll
time.
probably be ready by then.
Yeah. Say,
Alright.
Okay.
well, I'll message the chat right now to see if anybody else wants to go besides us four.
And then I'll call Xavier and see if
Okay.
he wants to go.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because Xavier
Later.
usually never looks at the chat, so.
Alrighty, so
Alright.
you guys want to end it here? So I can
Yeah,
stop.
might as well.
Sure.
Alright, thank you, fellas, for tuning in. If if you want to, this is a project, whether you guys like it or not. I'm gonna fucking continue doing this shit. I don't care what people say. I actually want to keep doing this podcast. It's
What you call it? After you interview all of us, like you just interviewed me and Leo, but after you interview like the whole group, then the other podcast you do should be like on a base topic.
yeah, we could do that, but like I
You get
said,
what I
like
mean?
first I just want to just kind of want to get into the minds of people who I've had
Yeah,
history
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Like I said, like I want to get my cousin Jonathan Arevalos. I'm not sure if you're listening to this, but like hit me up because I really do want to talk to you again. And Luis Reese, I think you guys know him, but I
Yeah.
really wanted to get him on here too, just to catch up with him and shit.
Oh, Luis, yeah, I know
Yeah,
who you're
yeah, those are some people I have my eye on because I haven't spoken to them in a while, and I've been dying to hear from them again. But yeah, if you guys like it, like this podcast, just leave a like. I don't know. I'm not like a Logan Paul. I'm not gonna be like slap that like button or some shit like that.
Go and remember the motto: get laid, get paid, Gatorade.
Gatorade. Yeah.
Gatorade.
All right.
Oh, man.
And hopefully
Yeah,
we keep doing this, and I'm not bored of this. But Project
we'll
Serotonin
never
will
get bored of this. This is so fun.
Project Serotonin will continue. Thank you for listening, and have a
Good
good one.
night.